about the Federal Reserve? Can anybody tell me about the Federal Reserve? Can anybody tell me who they really serve? How they get the money that they don't deserve? Anybody tell me about the Federal Reserve? Can anybody tell me about the Federal Reserve? I bet somebody here can.
Thank you so much. We need to end the Fed, but I don't see that happening soon unless the whole nation stands up for itself, which we all need to do, and that's what we're about. So we do have a sign-up list here for email list, and it's available. So if you want, please come up to the table over here to my right, and we can sign you up. And then we can get you hooked into some truth that you need to be aware of that's happening in your neighborhood, happening in your college, happening over here in Livermore, happening next door. Who knows who you live next to? You could live next door to a CIA agent. They don't sit there and announce themselves, and they don't come in with an application for the CIA. They come to you. Nobody knew that one. And my service in the military taught me a lot. Taught me not to trust them. Anyway, one of the things that happened to me when I came out of the military is two men, now this is the real Men in Black, I'm not talking about the movie. Two Men in Black came to visit me because my paperwork, I don't like to pop the mic, let's try a better way. Two Men in Black showed up and they talked to me about my paperwork. My paperwork was not submitted quite the way they liked. So they came and visited me right after I had moved to a little spot in Belton, Texas, left no forwarding address. They knocked on the door and said, "Hello, you're Mr. Woodruff." And I said, "Oh, and I know who you are." And they said, "Yes, we're here to talk to you about a minor problem in paperwork." I said, "How did you find me?" They said, "We always know where you are, and if we have a problem, we'll re-enlist you, take you home, or deal with you as necessary." Whatever as necessary meant, I didn't know, but I thought it was pretty ominous. Anyway, took care of that, and they never came back, and I'm glad, and I don't see them in the crowd tonight, so I feel quite safe to speak my mind. But do we have Sean Ackley here? Where? Oh, yeah, you've got your time, Sean. So why don't you come on out here and enlighten us, not like everybody, but give us some true enlightenment. Everybody, this is Sean Ackley.
Thank you, David. All right, so what is the Federal Reserve? We're talking about end the Fed. What does that mean? End the Fed what? Well, the Federal Reserve is a private banking cartel, like you might have a banana cartel, for instance. What their job is? Their job is to create a monopoly of money out of debt. And that debt-based currency is something they can control. Now, I'm not going to actually spend all my time speaking about that Federal Reserve, but just Google it. I mean, it's just out there. Basically, Federal Reserve Cartel. You'll find everything about it. But what is End the Fed? I mean, End the Fed is about removing apathy. It's about removing the barriers in your mind to try to figure out, why do I pay people with green pieces of paper?
We borrow those pieces of paper.
Is green pieces of paper real money? I don't think so. I mean, it's debt-based currency. That means you have to pay it back with interest. So is that your money or not? No, I don't think so. I mean, look into gold and silver if you really want some information on what real money is. But look, I mean, when we're up here talking about the truth show, we're not up here creating pain. All we're doing is trying to remove the barriers so that the pain can come out and you can actually see where you're bleeding from. Okay? You know, we're not up here stabbing you in the heart, right? We're just ripping off the Band-Aid, guys, okay? So that's really the bottom line to End the Fed or the Truth Show or any of the things that we do. What I really wanted to do was talk about how we need everyone in the fight. We need everyone in the fight. We need all of everybody in the country in the fight. And if we're talking about this concept of this left versus right, or liberal versus conservative, or maybe there's libertarians in there somewhere, or there's whoever else you want to call in the middle, the progressives, okay? I just think about it as right versus wrong, okay? Right versus wrong is where it's at, people. It doesn't matter if you're thinking about Marxism, if you're thinking about conservatism, or Ted Cruz is up there and you're going, woo-hoo, he's talking about getting rid of all that crud. And it's like, it doesn't really matter. Because the bottom line is, this book right here, it's called Tragedy and Hope. It was all written in 1966 for you. Okay? This is not the Bible, people. The Bible was written like thousands of years ago and still applicable today. This is Tragedy and Hope, written by an extremely well-written and very smart gentleman. Yeah, well, I don't consider that a very smart idea. But you know, Clinton was actually a smart guy, so I'd have to give him that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from Tragedy and Hope. So this is not a comedy routine, this is more like a reading. So if you have your copies, you can get them out right now. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit, and let's see if it inspires you. At issue here was the whole future face of America for the older wealth, that's the guys who had money a long time ago, stood for values and aims close to the Western traditions of diversity, tolerance, human rights and values, freedom and the rest of it, while the newer wealth, that's the guys who created the Federal Reserve, wealth stood for the narrow and fear-wrapped aims of the petty bourgeoisie, insecurity and egocentricity. Okay. I'm going to put the book down because it's really heavy. For the real issue was the control of the federal government's tremendous power to influence the future of America by spending of government funds. Think about that. Back in 1966, they were talking about how to control America by spending your money through the federal government. The chief problem for a long time has been how to make the two congressional parties more national and international. The argument of the two parties should represent opposed ideals. Think about that. Liberal, conservative, two opposite ideas, right? And policies, one perhaps the right and the other of the left, is a foolish idea acceptable only to doctrinaire and academic thinkers. Think about it. This gentleman in 1966 wrote that the right versus left parties is a foolish concept. He says that only the people who read books in college and never get out in the real world are the only people that really think this. Instead, the two parties should be almost identical, so that without leading to any profound or extensive shifts in policy, that the policies that are vital and necessary for America are no longer subjects of significant disagreement. Wow, really? So going from Bush into Obama, did Obama stop the wars right away? Did he cancel the drone program? What did Bush do when he got into office? Well, he didn't cancel all the free speech zones that Clinton put in there. Clinton actually started the free speech zones, right? Did they reverse the Federal Reserve by Woodrow Wilson? Did they get in there and do anything different? No, it was just the right poop versus the left poop. And you just have to clean the bird up in the cage every once in a while, right guys? Come on. Disputable only in details of procedure. Yeah, Obama signs it with the left hand and Bush signs the executive agreements with the right hand, basically, right? And now they're talking about the robo-signing. Priority or method. We must remain strong continue to function as a great world power in cooperation with other powers. So yeah, I mean, we're pretty much doing that, right? We go over to Assad over in Syria and go, we don't like you. We want to put a central bank in Syria. You either going to comply or we're going to kick your ass. I think that's what they're doing right now. Here's the kicker right here. But either party in office becomes in time corrupt. I mean, men just get corrupt, right? Tired, unenterprising, and vigorless. They get tired of what they're doing. Then it should be possible to replace it, to replace the mechanism every 4 years if necessary by the other party, which will be none of these things, but will still pursue with new vigor approximately the same basic principles. And that, people, that is just the bottom line right there. That sentence comes from, well, this is all from 900 to 906 in this book. And if you buy the book, this book is over 1,400 pages. That's a long book to read. You'll figure out everything about life if you read it. So what do we do? A few more minutes? I'm done. Okay. Well,
Give him another minute.
another couple minutes?
Give him another.
All right. So anyway, I'll be really brief here. So, we are change, guys. We are change is a concept that is a nationwide and a worldwide concept right now. We are here about accountability to the people that want to be our slave masters, that want to be the gangsters who are really the banksters, right? We want to get rid of these people. These people need to be put out of business and thrown in jail. We are change, holds them accountable. Holds them accountable by bringing video and taping them. Cop Block goes out and tapes police. We Are Change goes out and interviews the criminals in their own turf. So get out there with your video camera and do it. So I'll leave you with these words. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. And ignorance is strength. The answer to 1984, people, is 1776. That we have to start the revolution all over again.
I think that was well spoken. And, you know, as you sit at your bar stool and you're sipping, as I do, a scotch right now, occasionally I sip. I don't over-imbibe, and I don't advise you to drink and drive. But one of the things that I want to say is that we are ruled today by 3 cities in this world. And this is for real. It affects you and your money, how you live, and there's about 15 men in the world that make the decisions, banking-wise and otherwise, that describe how the whole world's system will work. 15 people. They are men that are in banking, whether it be Rockefeller. Believe me, he owns most of San Francisco. He owns Embarcadero 1. When he walks, they follow him. Whether it's in government, Nelson Rockefeller, when they offered him the vice presidency, he didn't know if he wanted to take it because it was a step down in power. That's a true thing. His papers are not still available to view because the Rockefeller Foundation holds all Rockefeller papers in the foundation and decide what you will know and what you will not. They also control a lot of other things about the government in which you live under. And that government is what rules you, and they rule it. As it is written, the golden rule, he who has the gold does make the rules. And unfortunately, we're blinded by our pursuits sometimes, however noble they may be. You know, you've got to provide for your family. You've got to do some work. You've got to work within their system. But it doesn't mean that you have to believe and follow what they tell you to do. That is the challenge to you here tonight, is to look up and look outside of your world and look how you can make it a better place for those around you and for your grandchildren. Because that's who we're fighting for right now. Your children, your people, your way of life. There comes a time when they're going to take it all. And if you stand up, there is a time that you can stand up and take it back. As that song was talking about, that's what we're singing about, and all revolutions start with reaching the people right here. So open up, take the time, and look at what is right in front of you, because it's been there. They've been telling us in television, in programs, and movies, they put it right in your face. And they try to tell you, this is just entertainment. But sometimes it's a message to you about what they think of you. I like the thing where you're talking Dumber and Dumber, and yeah, it seems to fit. Okay, we're coming up with Vic Sadot and Eric Golub in the full spectrum of dominance. What's that? Sadot. I'm sorry. I think of Armor Sadot. They told that on the news. So it has to be Sadot, right? It's Sadot. It's the French. Hey, I'm from Texas.
Anwar Sadot is my birthday brother.
Oh, here you go.
Texas. You got no excuse because Louisiana's next to Texas.
Oh, okay. I have to take my corrections.
Anwar Sadot was still in the campaign.
Yeah, okay, let me say a little bit while you maybe get that other mic. Yeah, this song is called Full Spectrum Dominance, and it's about something that was a concept that came up within that neocon group.
Is that the project of the new?
That's it. Project for the New American Century, that was it. Anyway, they had a thing called Full Spectrum Dominance, and there are a lot of people doing a lot of good work, and we're meeting them. That's what's happening. People all over the world, people all over the country, use the internet to meet each other. And kind of replacing the liars. The truth movement is global. What I'm going to do now is a song that was inspired by Bruce Gagnon, and he's with a group called Coalition Against Nuclear Weapons and Power in Space. So, it's ready for now. Corporate killers want more weapons in space. They want full spectrum dominance all over the place. By land, air, and sea, and by satellite too. All throughout cyberspace, they want to spy on you. Full spectrum dominance is the policy. And systemic violence and full spectrum dominance makes us all the enemy. But a better world is possible, say the way it has to be. So it's not having oil, it's legitimate here. The new world order is already here. Don't want to send you to a stinking fascist state. Better make some better history before it's all too late. Now the media manipulated with a false worldview. Make the victims the aggressors if the lies seem true. Make death and destruction from tax dollars spent. Making ill-begotten profits for the 1%. Those full spectrum dominance is policy, making systemic violence and tyranny. Full spectrum dominance makes us all the enemy. But a better world is possible, set where it has to be. genocide. Across the Native Americans who still deny and depleted uranium weapons do the same. Afghans and Iraqis, and it's done in our name. The banned demonstrations set in free speech zones, planned violations of the law condones. You know, human beings more than flesh, blood, and bones. The way those who took by sending in the drones. Those full spectrum dominance is the policy. Make a systemic violence and tyranny. Full spectrum dominance makes us all the enemy. But a better world is possible. Think the way it has to be. Now, people, open up your eyes. It's time to stop swallowing all those corporate lies. It's time to be aware and care, to be wise. Come on now, people, eyes on the prize. U.S. corporate killers want more weapons in space. They want full spectrum dominance all over the place. By land, air, and sea, and by satellite too. All throughout cyberspace, they want to spy on you. There's full spectrum dominance is the policy. Make a systemic violence and tyranny. Full spectrum dominance makes us all the enemy. But a better world is possible. Take the way it has to be. Take the way it has to be.
Do like a 30 seconds.
It was within a week of the Boston thing, and I was getting work back from Berkeley, and there was this young woman who was in her early 20s, a student at Berkeley, and I was trying to talk about scumbaggery in general and 9/11 in particular, and she was a bit resistant on that, but she said, yeah, but that Boston thing, that was horse blank. And she was, and this was someone who wasn't in the truther community. She could tell from the amount of people who've been talking about false flags or whatever, it's gotten through to everybody now. And if there are people who are non-truthers here or watching this later on, there's simple things you can do. What I like to do, I have in my wallet here, it's a thing called the product insert for the vaccine. Every single insert has the same language. This one is particular to flu zone. Sorry, excuse me. So here it is. Section 8.1, pregnancy. Animal reproduction studies have not been conducted with influenza virus A, blah, 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 blah. It is also not known whether these vaccines can cause fetal harm when administered to a pregnant woman or can affect reproduction capacity.
They give those to pregnant women now.
And the CDC on their website has a profile picture of this pregnant belly saying, oh, go get your flu shot. Ask your doctor about it. But every single vaccine out there for everything, hangnails, shingles, whatever the hell they're pushing these days, they all have, Section 8.1 is identical. So you can all go out, just go to the pharmacy at the back and say, oh, can I have the product insert? They'll hand you a sheet of paper, which is the patient information thing, which makes no mention of this. Say, no, I want the little folded up thing you threw in the trash and you don't give to people. And keep it in your wallet and talk to people, because the scumbags control. When you have money and power, you can buy the Godfather movie. A group of families sometimes kill each other, you know. They have these differences and have these very theatrical ways of bumping each other off, but together they will come up with a plan, and everybody underneath that has to live under that. This same model works in high school cafeterias, chicken coops, sports teams, everywhere, and it is a huge conspiracy theory to think that it does not happen at a global level. It's ludicrous to think that. So, also in the Godfather movie, the Italians are asking for the Don Corleone's help. He's got the judges in his back pocket, and he has all the politicians and so on. Yes, they have that. They've got the banks, military, pharma, religion, education, everything. They got it all. But they don't have numbers. And they've always had this thing about numbers. And if you read Plato's Republic, he said back then that, oh yeah, we should have the philosopher kings ruling everything, but we also need to get rid of all these useless eaters. There's too many, dirty, nasty people. So we should always get rid of that. So through history, they'll generate wars and give poisoned blankets or whatever. Right now, they are getting us at every angle. The flu vaccine, or all the vaccines is just one part of it. They're getting us through the food, the air, the water, the RF radiation. And all you need to do is to point out to people a few of these things which show a systematic, determined effort to lower the population, i.e. kill your children. And that hopefully will be enough to get people to start looking into it themselves. And once you get it's well known you don't go after a bear with her cubs. And if you that same motivation with parents and grandparents should bring them down, I hope. But anyway, I'll F blank the scumbags.
I think that's well done, well spoken. And realize that, what he's talking about affects you every day of your life. Everything that these people do are affecting you daily, down to the bar room, down to who's open and not. And one of the things that they like to do is get you medically. They have affected doctors through the pharmaceuticals of what they prescribe to you, how they talk to you, how they tell you to behave, how you run your pregnancy. They want every woman in to get many checkups to find out how the baby is doing. And they give you multiple vitamins and all of the things that the pharmaceuticals provide for you. And sometimes we're not aware of what those things can do. Get educated and find out what the vaccinations are. Because all those disclaimers are for a reason. It gives them a blanket in a lawsuit. They told you, so that makes them that makes them not responsible. You need to be aware and take care of yourself and not follow the herd. Because the more you follow the herd, it's like lemmings. They're still going over the cliff. And if you don't know where you're going, then you're going over the cliff. Be aware. So, we've had a good show here tonight. Thank you, Patrick. And we've got some more coming up with Vic Sadot and Eric Golub. Oh, what a day. Love Me, I'm a Liberal. Now, I kind of like the sound of that. Is Bill Clinton in the house? I think he loves that song. Love Me, I'm a Liberal. He wanted some love. Didn't Monica? Never mind. We'll get off that subject. We won't talk about that liberal there. All right.
It's like a this is over the person now. Stick with the program. Imagine that this can happen. This is not, the day we're singing about here is not like an election day. This is a day when a lot more happens than that. It happens from the people. It doesn't happen from armies. It happens from the people. After 8 years of Bush and Cheney, the country was weary in war. If W was Dixon and Cheney, and the Constitution was torn. When these empire thugs used torture, they put our poor country to score. As they eluded the treasury, a mighty new movement was born. Oh, what a day! What a wonderful jubilant day! Oh, what a day! When Bush and Cheney went away. Oh, what a day! What a wonderful jubilant day! Peace, justice is the way. Yes, they left the country in ruins. They lied and made profits from war. They lied about all they were doing. From 9/11 to the Iraq war. Now the country's got Obama and Biden. There was so much hope in the air, but trust in them soon cannot win. They had no justice to share. Oh, what a day! What a wonderful jubilant day! Oh, what a day! When Obama and Biden go away. Oh, what a day! What a wonderful jubilant day! Oh, what a day! When peace through justice is the way. It's not about the color of your skin, not looks, not personality. It's all about who you are serving and the truth about your policy. It's really about exposing the lies that misled us before and stopping the wars they're imposing and serving justice once more. Oh, what a day! What a wonderful jubilant day! Oh, what a day! When Romney and Ryan go away. Oh, what a day! What a wonderful jubilant day! Oh, what a day! When we make the Federal Reserve go away. Oh, what a day! Golub song from 1965. They called him a topical songwriter and a broadside balladeer. I cried about them killings. I'm still stuck on that last song. Cried about them killing the Kennedys. Tears ran down my spine. And I cried about the murder of Martin. I thought it was such a disgrace. Don't talk to me about conspiracies. There are long nuts all over the place. So love me, love me, love me. I'm a liberal. I go to these vigils and rallies. It puts my poor conscience at ease. And I vote for the Democratic Party. So I know it's the corporates they'll please. At least they're the lesser of two evils, the hipper of hypocrisy. So love me, love me, love me. I'm a liberal. GW is a national disaster, and Cheney's a national disgrace. He's in big lies and terror and torture, wage wars and put puppets in place. But I cheered when Obama bombed Bolivia, because killing was correct in that case. So love me, love me, love me. I'm a liberal. Yes, I cheered when Obama was chosen, my faith in the system restored. Though he sold out to AIPAC and the banksters, I'm sure our rights won't be ignored. And he won't talk about revolution for a health plan that's just down the shore. So love me, love me, love me. I'm a liberal. Oh, the people of old Mesopotamia should all hang their heads in shame. I can't understand how their minds work. They're all Muslims, so they must be to blame. Talk 9/11 truth to my children. I hope the cops take down your name. So love me, love me, love me. I'm a liberal. Yes, every daily cost and the nation I've learned to take every view. I'm for Israel and for occupation. Yeah, I feel like I'm almost a Jew. When it comes to Iraq and Afghanistan, there's no one more red, white, and blue. So love me, love me, love me. I'm a liberal. I vote for the Democratic Party. They want you in truth to be strong. And I attend all of my building concerts. It sure gets me singing those songs. I'll send no money that you ask for, but I'll send my best wishes along. So love me, love me, love me. I'm a liberal. Sure, once I was young and impulsive, wore every conceivable pin. I even went to anti-war meetings. I learned to sing "Blowing in the Wind." But I've grown older and wiser, and that's why I'm turning you in.
die.